Hey guys, this is Heather Step, and today I'm just going to be chatting to you a little bit about your authority, right? Yeah, we are content creators, but what's the legacy that we're leading? If somebody searches for us, what can they find? There's just more just to us, what else is out there, and how can we show brands that we have authority, right? So that's what we're going to be chatting about today. It's about how to stand out, and it's not really about how many followers you have, but it's about your credibility, your searchability, and your lasting influence. Okay. Just a little bit about me and why you should even bother to listen to me. I forgot to change this. This is a bit of an old presentation, guys, that I'm just doing a bit of an update. But my son is now 13 years old. He's a teenager. And he's actually the reason why I started blogging. First, as an infertility blogger, and then through my motherhood experience, and then widowhood. And you can read more about that on One Step at a Time. I'm also the founder of South African Mom Blogs, which is a network for South African parenting bloggers, which is showcasing and supporting moms. I used to do some awards, and now I am supporting the Purposefully Influencing Awards, and through events like this, to support mom bloggers and mom influencers. Okay. And my day job is an online English teacher. Guys, I'm currently juggling 5 jobs. I think I'm going to scale back on 2 of them though. And I also have a blog all about that, English Steps. So yeah, that is me. I have been blogging for a long time, since about 2011. So I always try and learn more about it and the trends and everything. So yeah, that's my thing. Okay. Yeah, and I had this quote before, and I'm bringing it in again because it's really good. And Neil Patel is a very, highly respected blogger. And he says, business blogging is a powerful way to attract more prospects and build deeper relationships with your existing customers by creating valuable content that solves your audience's problems and answers their questions. You establish yourself as an authority in your industry and increase your visibility online. This can lead to more traffic, more leads, and ultimately more sales for your business. So for instance, if somebody has a problem, they will Google it, right? They hit on your blog post, and maybe you've given a whole long explanation how to solve this problem, but they're like, I don't really want to do all of this. I just want to go to an expert that's going to help me, do it. And then boom, you'll get a sale, and like this is just basic business. Say, how do you paint a house? And then the person told you how to paint a house, but then they also gave you their details, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to contact this person and they're going to paint my house for me. So that's like on a really basic level. But I just want you to think wider, maybe you can create a digital product on how to do activities for your kids. And maybe you've written a blog post about ideas on activities of the kids, but at the end you can say, okay, here's a product, to keep your child busy. So there's a lot of ideas and things that you can sell with having a blog. Okay. 5K followers, but no authority. So you can have all the numbers in the world, but does it really mean something? Is it meaningful? Some creators get all these opportunities. Why? It's not about how many people follow you, it's what comes up when people search for you. And have you ever Googled yourself, right? That's the pertinent question here. Social media can be a fast, temporary content. So for instance, with your stories, they're gone in 24 hours, right? I will say though, if you do Google, your social media profiles should come up, right, with your name. So that's a good thing, right? And shows your online presence. But don't just think about that. Think about having your own website and also having articles, about yourself on a website that has a high expert level or a high domain authority, as we say, that Google respects and that will show up in searches. That is what you're actually looking for, right? What are brands looking for? Google search results with your name, articles, and media features. Long form expertise beyond reels. Consistent content that shows depth. Okay. Before they're going to pay you, they want to trust you. They want to see your content, right? And yes, they will look at your social media profiles for sure, because they're looking for those things. But just think beyond that, because it might not only be the task that they're looking for, maybe they're looking for, more than that. So just, always be prepared to give them more, okay? So you need a home for your content, so you can build your authority in layers, not just on your social media, but on an owned platform, right? So that's where having your own platform changes everything. You stop renting space and you start owning your authority. I'm just going to take a break from this presentation, and just as an example, let's just, for instance, search my name just to show you what I'm talking about, right? So let's see what's going to come up. Oh guys, I've got the Moz on, so you can see all the domains authorities, but that's just a little Chrome extension that I installed. So that you could see, it's coming up SM Mom Blogs, and also my other blog, which is One Step at a Time, my LinkedIn profile, Facebook, English Steps doesn't have such a great domain authority. It's a fairly new website, but it's still coming up. Right, I wrote an article for Xander Mom, and that is also coming up, giving me some credibility there. Just by having a profile on IntelliFluence, guys, this is super easy to do, that you can do. And if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll always see there's a link for IntelliFluence there. You can just pop a profile on there and boom, it comes up on page 1 of Google, right? Guys, I don't know who this is. This is not me. Somebody else out there has got the same name as me, but that's not me. Okay. But yeah, my blog is coming up. Both blogs, 3 blogs there, right? Okay, so you get the general idea. But just so I want you to think, think out the box here. You could do a story, 5 tips for toddler routines on Instagram, and then it's gone. Or you could do a searchable post on a daily routine for 2-year-olds with a real life schedule, right? And that can be found for months, and it's got more staying power, right? So you stop being just a creator and start being a go-to resource, and people trust you for your advice, okay? That piece of content can work longer, harder, and build your authority while you sleep, okay? That's, a cliche, but in truth, people are searching from all over the world. Guys, for some reason, I've recently had an uptick in people from China and the US and Singapore, and goodness knows why. But yeah, I'm not complaining. It all helps, with my stats. Okay. So yeah, just try and see that the online content is something that might have more meaningful and long-lasting presence that's going to help you. Okay. So followers don't equal authority. Searchability does. Okay. And it's what people see when you're not posting, right? It's the Google results, the articles that keep working for you long after you've logged off. Guys, you do not own Instagram. You are on borrowed land. It's not your land. They can kick you off. They can do that, and Facebook can do that. So yeah, we all know those stories, right? You can get kicked off, but your blog is yours forever, and you cannot, they can't kick you off your own blog, right? So if you want to have a blog, the platform is called WordPress. Why should we use WordPress? Because most of the world actually uses it. It's very flexible and customizable, very user-friendly, SEO-friendly, and there is something called a Yoast plugin, which I'm just quickly going to show you guys how this thing works. Yoast, okay. Okay, so I'm just, for example, going to take this post that Janine wrote about 7 reasons every family should visit St. Lucia. It's a recent post that she wrote for me, and I'm going to click edit post so you can see what it looks like when you actually write the post or edit it. And that's a nice thing about blogging, guys. If you make a mistake, you can go back and edit it. I really like that. However, do not edit your URL because, then you're going to have hassles with being found again. So just rather don't do that. You've got to remember to do your category. This is the featured image, right? And the one that Facebook is going to pull. So really make sure you do that. Otherwise, they'll pull the wrong one. And I've put this under travel, right? It's a category. So that's going to, if someone's searching for travel, it's going to pop up. Yeah. So it's written by Janine from Five. Just do a space there. There are 7 reasons, 7 points. This is great, right? So we go right down here. This actually came here to show you the Yoast plugin. My keyword is St. Lucia. That's my focus keyword. So this little green face is all basing itself on that particular keyword. The keyword is in the heading. It's in the meta description, which I've written there. Let's just check here. Okay, so here we can see, right, a whole lot of green. I've got some good authority outbound links. I've got some great images. The keyword density is good, right? Everything is showing up green here. Where are my problems? I don't have any internal links. So I've got to find some other posts on my blog, travel related, that I can link to this post. It'll be better. Have the key phase in the introduction and maybe in a subheading. Okay, these are just tips that Yoast is giving me to make the post perform better, right? But we are green. We've got a green smiley face, so actually this post is good. But I can improve it using those things, right? Let's go back to the presentation. Present. Yeah. Okay. So 3 things for setting up your blog. You need a host, which is your place on the internet. You need a domain name, which is your street address, like sm1blogs.co.za. WordPress is going to be your platform. Whatever name you use, please make it memorable, easy to spell, relevant to your niche, adaptable through time changes. Okay, and you got to choose. Are you aiming for the local market? Then you'll do .co.za. If I had to start again, I would definitely use a international ending because this is going to get more traffic and more page views. Right, this is only going to get local. If you are a local business, I would stick to that because that's who you're aiming for, right? Okay, hosting, guys. Hosting is super important, right? You need a decent host, and I've written a blog post on that. It must have a good uptime, right? So you can't have your site crashing the whole time. the most important, good support, right? They must be able to help you when you have problems, okay? They must be able to help you install WordPress. Although in my course I'll show you exactly how to do that. It's not that difficult. And so right now I'm using domains.co.za, which is a local host. There are lots of hosts out there, so just do your research. I'm paying about 210 Rand a month, I think, for about 3 websites, so I think it's a good deal. I used to use HostGator, which is also pretty good. But the problem with them was that I had to pay for 3 years upfront to get a decent price. So yeah, you just got to be careful of these things. You know, this one at least I'm just paying month by month. Okay, guys, it's super important to have a decent website that must look nice. Okay, your first impressions when people come to your website, you know, they do count, right? It does build trust. It does establish your brand. I know mine has got room for improvement, but I try with all this green themed coloring brand sort of stuff. You put a theme on your website. It can be free or paid. My SM Mom blogs and One Step at a Time, they both run on Genesis, which is an old sort of basic theme from which you build onto, but English Steps is built on Cadence, which is more the latest and greatest. You know, starting over now I would use Cadence, and if you do my course you'll see I use Cadence and I use a free starter block, right, that you can use with that. It's got all sorts of things that you can do. Restored 316 is a paid one. They also work with Cadence as well. And it's got beautiful feminine themes, and I use them for all of my websites, right? You create a logo and a favicon. I'm just quickly going to show you what a favicon looks like. If you see there, English Steps, that little E in the corner, the little South African thing, which goes away when I stop editing, and I don't know why, but ever since I changed hosts I've had that problem, and I'm still trying to figure that out. You see there, Facebook, that little thing, but I will show you how to do that in the course as well. Then you need these essential pages: your home, about, contact, and privacy policy. I'll just quickly show you. The privacy policy is there under about. Yeah. The about page, guys, is not really about you. It's about how you can help somebody. That somebody gets there and they think, I'm in the right place. So I've written there, this is why this blog is a great resource for blah 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 blah. Why should you listen to me? A little bit about me, what to expect, you know, how I'm going to send a newsletter, and there's where you can find me in the media. This all is going to establish my credibility, right? Where you can find articles that I have written or where I've been featured, links to articles, you know, this is all establishing authority, right? So, and it's also about how can I help you, you know, and about page, right? Contact, yeah, I'll just quickly show you contact. Guys, I used to be really dumb and put my email address, and now I have so many problems with spam, you know, with my email not going through. So actually the best thing is to have a contact form, then you don't really have that issue. But there I've also put all my social media links as well. Yeah, so you just need to be careful because the bots will just take your email. Yeah, I do, however, put it on my Instagram so brands can get hold of me. I don't know if that's wise or not, but I kind of realize maybe it is too late now. The bots do get your email, guys. Just be aware of that. Okay. A permalink, I'll just quickly show you what a permalink is. Yeah, let's just try to see here. So guys, for instance, right, I set my permalink to the category and then the title of the post, right? And if someone is searching for topics about blogging, then they're gonna, blogs, SM1 blogs, blogging. This is all gonna help me with SEO and being discovered, right? So you also got to figure out what is your expertise, what is the thing you want to write about, and then you're going to have those kind of categories. I have landed up with way too many categories. I think it's good to narrow them down. But these are all things that can help establish me as an expert and give helpful information, right? Okay, that's a permalink. SEO friendly. Okidoki, let's go on to the next thing. Okay, so I kind of already did show you blog post, right? You need a headline, introduction, conclusion, internal, that's within your blog, something that you link to other blog posts, and external, an authority site that is, it's a good expert site that's going to help, if you link to that, subheadings, images, and so I did show you that, the featured image, and the Yoast plugin. Choose a category, edit your URL. That means now you've written a long heading. Guys, you don't need that for your URL. Just chop it down into the main keywords. So, for instance, I think I only did St. Lucia for that other one, just make it nice and short. Some kind of call to action, right? What do you want to do after they've read the blog post, right? Do you want them to read other blog posts on your blog? Do you want them to subscribe to a newsletter? In which case you give them a relevant freebie in exchange for their email. Do you want them to buy a product, right? That doesn't need to be your product, but you could do an affiliate product, you get commission on it. So just think about it. At the end of the day, you always want to have some kind of call to action, and this works for social media as well, right? Okay, a few notes on AI. This is me updating this presentation because back in, I think I did this, it's 26 now, maybe 3 years ago, yeah. So we weren't really, AI wasn't such a thing back then. At first I was very anti, I was just like, no, and now I kind of got to a place where I realized, I have to equip myself and use this as a tool to be up to date, right? However, having said all that, human writing is still the best, and it's the gold standard. It's going to give you better authority. I think if you are starting from scratch, please just start as a human being writing, and that, is going to be the best. However, getting an AI outline can give you things that you didn't think of. Something that I love to do is AI images using the colors from my brand. I'll just quickly show you some examples of that. Let's just open up a new tab and show you where I've done it. So for instance, on this post, most of the images here are from Unsplash, but when I got to this point about the interview, I didn't find any images on being interviewed. So this is an AI generated image. It looks very realistic, and I did put there underneath, that it is an AI image. And I think, in all fairness to your readers, try and always, say, where did you get the image from? And if you guys read that other post about how I got scammed about, copyright images, I'm always just very touchy about this, to say where the image came from, right? I'll just quickly also show you, this is my 3 go-to places when it comes to images, right? We've got Pexels, Unsplash, and Pixabay, right? So those are places where I do get images. Another one is this one, all in my beautiful shades of green, right? That is AI generated image, and it goes with my color scheme. So I like doing that, staying on brand, right? Okay, let's go back to my presentation. Okay. Okay, I have spoken quite a lot about this domain authority, and I have written a post on it. But you could see the difference in my websites, right? You know, the SA Mom Blogs one has got a really good domain authority that's coming at the top, and then it's one step at a time, and you know, English Steps is down there because it hasn't got such a great domain authority, hasn't got a lot of sites pointing to it, right? So just bear that in mind, right? How do you get good domain authority? The main way is to get authoritative sites to point to you. Try and do guest posts on good sites. You know, Ryan Robinson had some really good tips about this. He would actually make friends with the people on those sites. And, you know, I mean, he got into writing for Forbes magazine. And even though, you know, they would do no follow links, it wouldn't go back to his site. That credibility, you know, is everything. So, you know, even if you don't get the backlink, it does help you in your own authority and gets you that respect, right? So just think about those things. There are a lot of tools out there to improve this using AI. My advice is, if you already have a website that is performing really well organically, don't mess it up, okay? If you've got nothing to lose, yes, sure, test it, try it out, no ways. And I'm speaking from bitter experience here, because what happened was I had this blog post, how to start a blog in South Africa in 4 steps. I really love this one. It was coming up on the first page of Google, and then I got greedy. I thought, why don't I run it through one of these AI things that's supposed to improve your search authority? And boom, I lost my number 1 page on Google. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But yeah, I think I learned a lesson, right? You know, that AI does not always help. If you've got nothing to lose, why not? Try it out, test it, see if it's going to work. And I will just show you guys what I mean. Right, so how to start a blog in South Africa. And there you can see my stats, right? I have had 2 clicks and 126 impressions. Position 10. So basically what's happening here is that it's pulled another post of mine. No ways, guys. It's not here. It was here yesterday. It was here yesterday. Oh no, guys. How can Google just change? Anyway, I had another post here. It was literally here yesterday about how to start a blog from scratch. So, let's see if it's on page 2. Oh, guys. Okay, I have no explanation for that, but I was definitely there yesterday. Sure, okay. But my point being, you know, just be careful with that. Maybe Google's having another kind of day, but I was definitely there. I was definitely there on page 1 yesterday, but just not for the post that I messed with, for the other post that that was doing quite well. Yeah. Oh, here it is. I just missed it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so there's my post on page 1 of Google. Yeah, so there it is. And yeah, wasn't the one that I messed with. This one is purely written by humans, and it's on page 1 of Google. Yeah, but the other one has not even on the page 2, so that one I messed with. So yeah, that's a lesson for us. Okay, so guys, if you do use AI for this sort of thing, just do it on something where you don't have anything to lose, and just test it and see if it's going to work. But like I say, if you've got something successful, don't mess with it. Okay, something else that's going to give you a huge lift of credibility is to have a professional email with your domain address on it. It really does create professionality. In this course I showed you how to put it in Gmail, but unfortunately a little update there, you know how Google does change things, they are not going to let us do that anymore. But that is not a train smash, right? And I actually just quickly wanted to show you that there is a way that you could do it just off your website and through your host, right? Doing it on the webmail. So guys, don't despair, you know, you can still have your functioning email, but now you're going to have to check another website. It's not just going to be on your Gmail like it used to. I mean, you can see there my things are coming up into my Gmail, but they're gonna cut that, guys. So just an update there. Alright. How do you get people's emails in to build a list? You give them something that they want, right? I currently have at least 3 things going where people can choose what they want. They can choose an influencer journal, they can choose a thing about how to blog, and there's also a mom sanity saver. Yeah. So if you actually subscribe to me on email, you get an automatic thing which I've used from ManyChat, and then you'll get those 3 options, and then you can get onto my email list, right? I used to use MailPoet, which was super easy to put WordPress posts into, but now I use MailerLite. MailerLite is just beautiful. It's, you know, it's got a lot of nice stuff that you can integrate. I can even take things from my shop and integrate them into my newsletter very easily. Then there's also System.io, which I might migrate to there eventually. But at the moment I'm using both of these, which is a bit clumsy, I do admit. But yeah, this one's very beautiful. So make an effort to send out a regular newsletter. You know, just keep in touch with your subscribers. If you're only going to talk to them once a year, they're going to unsubscribe because they're not even going to know who you are. Subscribers are very valuable, and they are yours, and they are not at the mercy of social media. Okay. Having said that, though, you always do need social media, and you're going to use it to promote your blog posts. I don't recommend doing every single last social media. Just choose 1 or 2 to focus on, and rather do 1 or 2 well than spreading yourself thin, right? So for me right now, it's Facebook and Instagram. What I used to just, you know, refer them to my blog post in the bio, but now I'm just putting it in the first comment and pinning that comment. So that is a good plan. Facebook has got groups that you can post into from your Facebook post. That's what I do, and I do pay for the Mamahood group still. I don't know how effective it is, but I'm getting a lot of, you know, if I look at my Google Analytics, I do get a lot of Facebook still. So Facebook is always a good one for blogging because of that link. It's easier, whereas I find with Instagram, it's a bit more difficult to get them to click on that link. But another thing I'm trying is to have like a group, an Instagram group, to put my blog post there. Okay, Pinterest, I am so keen to get into Pinterest, but I just never have the time. But this, I think if you do spend a lot of time, you know, doing this properly, you can get traffic from Pinterest. With all of these things, however, it's about engagement. People are not going to pin your stuff unless you pin theirs. So it is a bit of back and forth with social media. just remember that. But if you are interested in getting involved with Pinterest, that is my my profile. 3 essential plugins. You need something to protect you from spam. You need Google Analytics so you can say to brands, you know, this is how well your post performed. At the end of your post, have some links for social media sharing. Yeah, so that people can promote your post. And there is more. There are so many more. Okay, and just a quick little thing on how to make money with blogging. Guys, there are many things that you can do. So now you've got your website, you've established your authority. You know, it's really up to you what you are going to do with this, right? You can do some blog posts which are linked to a product that you can sell with commission, and that is affiliate marketing. And you can do this on social media as well. But that is definitely, you know, brought in some money for me. Another huge one for me is sponsored content, right? You do a sponsored post. Yeah. And there are places that you can sign up for with that. IntelliFluence is definitely one as well. Some of these things are trade exchange, but yeah, you got to decide. Well, you know, if the product is worth it for you, why not? If you were going to buy it anyway, why not? But you know, it's also good to get money. All right. You can do display advertising where you have an advert on your blog. You can sell digital products. You can do coaching, and you can do events. Okay, just want to quickly show you the display advertising. Yeah, so that, you know, I've got Google AdWords. It's not bringing in a huge amount of money, but it does eventually bring money. Guys, I signed up for Mediavine. I got into it, but the reason I didn't plaster my site with adverts is you got to weigh it up, right? I'm not going to earn a lot of money from it, and it's going to slow my site down. So you've got to weigh things up. You know, is it worth $10 a month? You know, it's really, if I was getting, you know, like some of these sites get millions of views. Yeah, whoa, I would definitely put all those adverts on, you know. But you've got to weigh things up, and you know, it's still sitting there. I can still do it and do an experiment, which I might, but I'm very cautious about plastering my site with adverts. So yeah, I might do that in the future and just experiment with it and see what it's going to look like. I am cautious, however. Oh yeah, on digital products, that's how I'm getting people onto my list. It's just a thing from MailerLite. It's beautifully structured, and people can subscribe there. Shop. All the digital products there, you know. It's both parenting and influencing related. I just quickly also want to show you, I've got some nice AI tools that you can play with. I've got an Instagram content player, keyword research. This is going to help you see which keyword you should use in your blog posts, you know, that's going to perform well. If you just need some ideas for your business, this might also help you as well. Okay. Alright, so after having listened to all of this, you might just feel a bit overwhelmed, and yeah, maybe this is just too much for you, but that is why I've got a course, right? And yeah, you know, it's got 4 basic blocks where you would, you know, set everything up, make it look beautiful with your theme, how to do your content and create a community, and then connect with brands, right? Everything is there step by step. Super simple, guys. If you want to know how to do a blog, that is the website startawordpressblognow.com. Okay, that is if you really want to build real authority. Okay, so guys, it's been super to chat to you. You can always email me, heather@smonblogs.co.za, if you want to chat to me about anything website or blogging related. Yeah, I'm here to chat, and it's been good to chat to you. Thank you. Bye.